Thanks for the support as a channel member, Philip O'Sullivan. Yes, we are halfway through the season now. Yeah, we've fallen down to mid-table. Yes, I remember you're looking for playoffs minimum this year. Do you remember selling my best player for almost no money? Hello and welcome to part 35 of Homegrown. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have a couple of local derbies. We're at home against Northampton in the league, and then we're playing really local city rivals, Peterborough United, for the first time in the Papa John's Trophy. There is another thing that's broken because Posh are in the Championship. They're in the relegation zone, but they're in the Championship, so they absolutely shouldn't be in this trophy. Cups are just broken in this save, I think. We had to qualify for the FA Cup. We're still in the FA Trophy, and there's Championship teams in the Papa John's Trophy. It's all broken, boys and girls, just like our form, or at least our form was. Actually, I think the broken database might just save our season, because we were in a horrible run of form in November. It was all going very wrong, but then we hit an awful lot of cup games in quick succession. Being able to play in a qualifying round of the FA Cup against St Ives, big bonus. Being able to play against local rivals Yaxley in the FA Trophy and thump them, big bonus. It's given us a little bit of oomph to turn our form around. We've now finally won a couple of league games again, or one league game. We've got a couple of draws. We're on an unbeaten run in December so far, and that's going to be hard to keep going, bearing in mind who we're playing now. Northampton, just down the road from where we are. Posh, like I say, just across the city. I do wonder if this might be a good opportunity to beat them in our first ever meeting, because they're having such a difficult season. They got promoted from League One last year in second place, and now find themselves second bottom of the Championship with only Wimbledon below them. So fingers crossed we can pick up a couple of good results today. And we definitely need to, because the league table is not looking pretty. 23 games gone, so we are halfway through the season. Yes, we have a game in hand on a lot of the teams above us, and we're only 3 points outside of those playoffs. But it is the playoffs that Mrs Wearmouth is looking for. And if we have a look on the club vision, she's unbelievably very disappointed that I'm not making the most out of set pieces. I mean, have you watched the Streamer Showdown, Mrs Wearmouth? I'm doing what I can. I might have to starting Danny Pritchard again, but she is disappointed that we're not currently on course to hit the playoffs. It's not something we need to worry about just yet. We're still on a B- for manager performance, but obviously there's always the lurking Mark Wearmouth, the husband of Mrs Wearmouth, as my assistant manager. He's been offered a few managers' jobs again this season. Every time he gets offered them, we say, come on, Mark, stick around. And he stays. But he was offered the manager's job at Cambridge and turned it down. But I do suspect Mrs Wearmouth might not be patient with me forever if I'm not hitting her targets, and Mark Wearmouth could end up replacing me and making me very, very sad. So fingers crossed it doesn't come to that, and we win games starting now. This is the team for the Northampton game. Were we using this 4-2-4 the last episode? I'm not sure if we were. We've been using it for a little while now. It seems to be pretty effective. We abandoned the gegenpress. We've gone back to a wing play system. But we've just tried to take advantage of the fact we've got a lot of wingers and not many wide midfielders. So we can play Hamilton, we can play Redmond, we can play Jessup, Whittaker, Slam Dunk. They can all play in these wide roles rather than having to play Wentin out wide in midfield like we were before, because none of this lot can play deep. So this is what we've been using as part of the recovery, and it seems to be working quite well. So fingers crossed it carries on working well today. We're going with Captain Cartwheel, Oliver Wright in goal, a back four of Campbell, Davies, Muir and Brewerton, Bandera and Cisse in midfield, Hamilton and Redmond as the wingers supporting Beerith and Cannon up front. Troy Cannon has started scoring goals again recently. I know at the start of the year, Beerith was our top scorer for a little while. Cannon has now assumed his now traditional role of being the club's top goal scorer. So hopefully seeing him move into some good form again is going to help stand us in good stead. The fact we're on I think is it a 4 or 5 game unbeaten run in all competitions? Hopefully that's going to help us too. Cisse's already hurt. We're just going to leave him on for now. Far too early to bring him off. I'm a little bit worried to see Northampton playing a flat back 6, because that's going to be pretty difficult for us to break down, but it does mean they shouldn't be really overpowering us in midfield like most teams will. We've just got to find a way through the defence. And it might be with a long throw and Troy Cannon with the header that goes just over. That would have been the perfect way to open the scoring, because we've got to start taking advantage of set pieces anyway. Mrs Wearmouth would have loved that. It's Northampton now with a set piece, though, a corner that Brewerton heads clear, and Redmond with the chance to break. Redmond is running clear. He's got Beereth ahead of him. Cannon is approaching on the left-hand side as well. Redmond keeps on running. Can he cross it? He can't. He kind of scuffs the shot into the hands of the Northampton goalkeeper, and we really needed him to do a little bit better there, as we start to look at teams above us picking up goals and starting to increase that gap between us and those playoffs. Beereth with the flick on from the long throw again, but it's straight into the hands of the Northampton goalkeeper. Long throws really aren't working for us anymore the way they were lower down the pyramid. And I think that's the case with a lot of our bag of tricks that we had lower down. And also a lot of these players, I mean, you'll know from watching previous Road to Glories that I've done, it's very rare for me to have players in League Two that were playing for me in Tier 7. That's exactly what we've got, though. And yes, they're all improving massively. I mean, if I was having a look at the non-League to Legend save, where we also signed Shay Charles for Kettering fairly early on, but he didn't go straight into the team. Kettering also still now in League Two at roughly the same stage, like calendar-wise, roughly the same year we're in. And in that save, Shay Charles plays 5 games a season, he's probably played less than 50 games in his career, whereas for us, he's fantastic. So getting exposure to that football has really helped these young players develop, but they're still not necessarily League Two standard. And once again, we fall behind in a game, and it is becoming a problem, because we all know Mrs Wearmouth is crazy, and if we don't turn this around, she genuinely might sack me. And that would be a big, big problem when it comes to, you know, doing the save if I'm not the manager. Right. We need to sort something out here. We're going to go attack him. Attacking served us well lower down the leagues. We tried Gegenpress. It didn't really work. I don't know what else we can do. We don't have the play. We don't have the players to go to a diamond. That's always my instinct in these situations. Kev, go to a diamond. We don't have an attacking midfielder at the club. That's why the 4-2-3-1 didn't really work. A diamond's not going to really work. We don't really have a holding midfielder. We can't really try a 4-3-3. Our 2 best players are strikers. We kind of need a 2-striker system. We can't do a wide diamond because we don't have the attacking midfielder and the defensive midfielder. There's a problem of not being able to go out and sign players thing. It's tricky. It's really tricky. Who'd have thought? Hashtag FM21 is too easy. Bite me is my response to that right now. I'm having a very tough time. Right. Let's do some of our typical changes. You know what? We're going to do a triple substitution and we're just going to figure it out. So Jessup is the left footer, so we want to play him on the right. We are going to go to a Gegenpress, but we're going to we're going to keep it in this shape. This is exactly what we're going to do. So Jessup over there, Whittaker over here. So he's going to be an inside. No, we want him to. Let's make them both inside forwards. This is probably overkill. And then swap those 2 over. Does this keep our corner instructions on, switching tactic like that? It does. Excellent. I don't really know what I've done there. I didn't know you could make that kind of switch mid-match. That's clever. Without it changing everything. But you can. So let's switch to a Gegenpress. We still want to be attacking, though. We want to demand more. So we've now got, at times, effectively 4 strikers. Because they are all natural strikers, and the 2 inside forwards are going to cut in. And then we've got the 2 little strikers out wide and the 2 target men in the middle. This is the weirdest system I've ever played, I think. And I don't know if it's going to be effective. Ball over the top for Beereth to chase. Beereth is in here, surely. No. Just no. Right, someone get it on the head of Danny Pritchard. Or Harrison Davies. Either of them is fine. It's Jessup who's going to try the outswinger rather than the slam dunk corner. And Davies can't quite get his head to it. It goes back to Campbell, nothing doing from it. Brewerton now with the throw. He's going to hurl us into the penalty area again. We've got a lot of big lads in there now. We're looking for a flick on from anybody. Jessup picks the ball up, plays it into Whittaker, who I think is offside. Has it been given as an offside, or have we actually won the corner? We've won the corner. So another opportunity to find the head of Pritchard. Cross comes in and we don't find him. Pritchard's lurking at the far post. We probably need to fix that. There's no point bringing Pritchard on if he's not going to be at that near post. So that's Pritchard, I think. So get him there. Is that Davies? Get Davies there. So do the same again. Let's get both of them two at that near post. In fact, the other thing we want to do is play for set pieces as well, because then we've got more of a chance of finding the two of them. And just do something, boys. Anything. We can't lose another football match. We're down to 12th. This is not okay. Oh, right. Plays it to Muir. Out to Brewerton. We don't look like a terrible side. Ball over the top of Pritchard. Danny Pritchard is in. And he can't force the save out the keeper. I hope Beerif's let that run out. For a second there, I thought he'd kept it in. Right, we have another corner. This time we've got the two big lads lined up at the near post. Jessup is going to be looking for Pritchard. Jessup with the cross. Pritchard is there, but it goes over. Danny Pritchard needs to do better than that. We know how much of a threat he is from these set pieces, and that was very wasteful from him. It was basically a free header. I know he had to kind of take a step back, and it was looping up above him because of it. But, yeah, we've lost again. And now we're playing a championship team. Oh, dear. Well, we only had 1 day of rest between the two games, so we're having to play a bit of a makeshift side as so many people are tired. And also, we're going back to the Gegenpress. So, you know, we're tired. Let's Gegenpress. There's a solution for you. So we're going with Wright in goal. A back four of Frangos, Muir, Charles and Allen, who's really a midfielder, but we signed him in the summer. He can play at right back. We're getting a bit desperate for right backs. Wenton and Campbell are going to be in midfield. Redmond and Whittaker supporting Pritchard and Jessup up front. And you can see Brewerton, Cannon, Davies, Hamilton, Cisse, Beerif, Bandera. These guys are all very, very tired. So we're having to kind of fit a side together somehow for one of the biggest games in our history. There's 5,000 tickets been sold for this game. It's the first ever Peterborough derby in professional football, and we're putting a rotated side out, and I imagine so are they, because they're playing against us and it's only the Papa John's Cup. But it's a sellout here at the home of football, and fingers crossed we can find a way to snatch a result somehow. The fact we've got Danny Pritchard back in up front means at least set pieces should be a little bit more of a threat, hopefully. Right, we start things off with a big throw-in from this right-hand side, and they've got goalie in goal. If you remember my Peterborough Twitch set, we've won a penalty. I don't know what we've won a penalty for there. But if you remember my Twitch save, we used to pick on goalie all the time. And Shay Charles is picking on him here. And the fans behind the goal are going wild. Beautiful stuff. And it's 1-0 to home in the Peterborough derby. And everyone's I still don't know what the penalty was given for. But I honestly don't care. In a match like this, we're absolutely going to take it. 1-0 to home. Lovely. Can we have the final whistle now, please? Because I'm very afraid there's still some of the posh youth players knocking around in here. Edwards, Barker, Burrows. This is quite cool, seeing that some of those young players have developed into first team players in the Championship. I mean, that could explain why they're going to get relegated, or it could just show that they're playing a rotated team and they never did develop. But let's assume they did develop, and it's nice to see them in the first team. Lovely stuff. Right, 1-0. It's been a nothing game so far. We've had one shot on target. They've had one shot on target. We're ahead on XG because we got a penalty. But we'll take it. It's another set piece. It's Redmond to hit it, and it goes straight into the wall. It's gone back to Redmond again, and he needs to hit it a second time, and it's like he wasn't aware that was the purpose of his role there. Frangos on the left-hand side, playing it forward, looking for Jessup, who's been very, very quiet up front, but then so is everybody. We haven't played well once again in this game. We're just playing against another team who are in rotten form, and hopefully we'll get away with it. Ball forward, looking for either of the strikers, neither of them anywhere near it. And Posh look like they are getting back into this game the longer it goes on. The shot goes just wide, and we need to buck our ideas up. I think this is where our tiredness is really going to be an issue. We've got some very, very tired players on that pitch, and we're asking them to work very, very hard. I think Shea Charles has to come off. I can't really justify bringing Harrison Davies on. He's tired. He's too tired. Alan hasn't had the opportunity to play for us at centre-back yet, so we'll move him over. Brewerton can go out to right-back. We're also going to take off Redmond, and Slam Dunk can come on the left-hand side. That's a pretty straightforward substitution to make. And then one of these two, who have we got to come on for Campbell? Micah Hamilton, who can come on for Whittaker? Micah Hamilton. So I guess we'll just take off Campbell and get Hamilton into midfield. Whittaker is just going to have to run some more and like it. He's probably, I mean, he's the one that the dugout was recommending I take off, and he's the one of the three that was super, super tired that I've left on the pitch. Went in now, also struggling a little bit, and we've just got to hold on for another 10 more minutes. If we can hold on for 10 more minutes, it'll be a famous victory in the history of this football club. Frangos plays it forward to Slam Dunk, who's obviously going to be very motivated to beat Peterborough today as a local boy who's come up through non-league and somehow carved out a career as a professional footballer in his 30s. Jessup is in. Jessup scored. It snuck him. We got a goal from open play. It looks like it never crossed the line, but it's 2-0 to Home with 10 minutes to go. This could be a turning point for our season, because this will be a huge victory against a team 2 divisions above us. At what point does that ball cross the line? I don't think it does. The goalkeeper's like, what? It's literally still sat there. Doesn't matter. We'll take it. A long throw from Frangos now. Whittaker's in. Their keeper is really struggling. He can't cope with it again, and it's Wentin now on the edge of the area trying to find Hamilton, but he's very closely marked. It was a terrible pass, but Whittaker has come alive again. He's got no energy left, but he's still running around all over the place. He is up for it today. Brewerton on the right-hand side. Cross comes in for Jessup again, and Jessup's hit the outside of the post. That was as much of a goal as the one that was just given. I'm a little bit disappointed we're not 3-0 up. The ball is cleared and the highlight ends, and hopefully at this point we can't mess up. 3 minutes of normal time remaining. It's now Peterborough with the free kick with an in-swinger, and Wright can't really deal with it, but the post is there to come to his aid. Luck is shining down on us today. Does luck shine? Who cares? We're taking it. Allen plays it all the way back to Captain Cartwheel, who just, I mean, get back in your penalty area, lad. Goodness me. Jessup is in again here. Jessup is loving it now that he's grabbed himself a goal. He's still not particularly effective, but he's having a nice time getting the opportunity to play up front. Whittaker with the cross again. I thought Pritchard was getting there before goalie, but he didn't. And it's still 2-0, but they're not getting back into it now. Even if they grab a goal here, they've not got time to score 2. I don't think. Brewerton cynically bringing down Harrison Burrows, picking up a yellow card. I'll take it. He gets a bonus for that. If I could just hand out bonuses on the spot, Matty Brewerton gets one there. Posh with the free kick. They're trying to work it into the area again, really, with the amount of time they had left. They should have just been lumping that into the box. This is why they're going to get relegated. They're too naive. 93 minutes on the clock now. The home fans are singing and dancing. Oh, the streets of Peterborough are green tonight, boys and girls. And at least they haven't got a long journey home, eh? We've done it in what I'm sure is the biggest crowd we've ever played in front of in a home game. Anyway, we did go to Wembley that time, but that is awesome. And we've received 22 grand for doing it, which is going to be very, very helpful. Did we sell out? Let's just go to the schedule. We did. It was our first ever sellout at the home of football, and we won. Look at the difference it's made to our bank balance. Almost none. Mrs Wearmouth, you've got to help us out here. You caused this. You need to fix it. We look at the state of January of all these cup games. The tiredness isn't going to go away anytime soon. And we will be back for tomorrow's episode as ever after this next run of cup games. I want to show you a couple in the league, probably towards the end of January. There's not likely to be much in the way of transfers from us because we've got no money and we can't bring first team players in. We could maybe try and find the odd free transfer. We've got a lot of spare wage budget, but under 18 free transfers at this time of year are pretty hard to come by, especially ones that are going to come in and actually improve the first team. So probably going to be very little in terms of transfers, but if we can continue to make progress in all of these cups, we might end up getting saved by cups, which I'll take it. I'll accept getting saved by cups. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Thank you very much for watching.